Hello, the game has started, and it's my opponent to go first. I have a pretty balanced rack, a little bit clunky with the B, G, and P. Not great synergy with those three, but I should be able to at least score. I'm thinking of bat here. The leave is not great. I'd like to get rid of the B, P, and T. Now I do have B pat. And I might actually play that here. 25, but creating a hotspot at 11E. I think I'll go with this. Not a great pickup. Duplicate O, duplicate I, and the F and the G don't go fantastically together. So a long way from a bingo. Figo springs to mind as a potential play, although the rack leave would be pretty weak. IOT. Now my F does, I was going to say play at 11E. It now plays at 12D. And I do have goof here. The two I's not ideal, but if I can dodge a third I, then I might be okay. Goof for 33. I do dodge the third I, but I've duplicated other letters on the rack, so again quite a way from a bingo here. Opponent plays ped. I don't have anything to go at the end of bake. Now I do have time here. Or play a bit more defensively, something like emit for 15. That's a bit better. Drawn the first of the two blanks, and I have 20s through an E or an S. None of those available. Wetting I have, and deg. And wetting and tint looks alright. No 4-timers available. I think wetting and tint for 80. Not bad. CH has some synergy. The V somewhat of a dampener on the rack, although there are a few 4 and 5 letter words here that I can see. Regina, opponent bingos, and opens the board up quite nicely with some useful floaters. Now does the I or the R help? The G doesn't look particularly useful. I've got vegan down the bottom here. Not a great rack leave, but that's 30 points. shave, 32, Tsar and Pav for a monster 70 points. I don't think I want to gift my opponent that play. What about chair for 32? Chair. Yeah. Not bad. Unrivets through a T. The G looks useful as well for potential ing words. None jump to mind. Venturis is the other one. Through the T. Although I don't know if Venturi takes an S. I think it does. Unrivets now does play, so that's quite handy. Is there a 7 here? Not seeing a 7, but unrivets looks good for 63. I draw the Q with an I, so that's pretty good. Stint is good as well. Pity I don't have a U for squir. SQUIRR. Oh, squir wouldn't have fitted anyway. Opponent plays owl. Now I've got souk, which would sort the rack out for 36, taking out a hot spot as well with a decent enough rack leave. Unless there's a super hot Q spot, I think I'd be pulling the trigger on this one. Something like Canat through the Q, but I'm a far way from that play. So I think I'll go with souk. There's some merit to this play. And I've duplicated a few letters here. Opponent seems to have vowel problems. Dispatching of 3 there. Now, fairies, I know there's a few ways you can spell it, but I don't think this is one of them. Redefine. I have the fire component of a word. So fieriest onto a T. No T available. And fieries, yeah. Oh, Rafes. I think Rafes might be a thing. Now, Chera. I don't think. Rafes and Chera. No, Chera's no good. So, Rafes would play here. Oh no, it doesn't. It plays here at N7 down. I don't think there's any other spot where it might play. I don't have a front hook. Ped and sped. So that does work. Rafes for 75. Not bad. Z with a few vowels is always a welcome sight. Opponent plays Durell for a monster 63, but that does also give me Azon or Zune. So I'll just think about what works best. Now, is there a better spot for the Z? Hotspot up here. But can I extend down to the double word square? Not that I can see. I do also have res and zo, but a poor rack leaf. I think 13 consonants and 6 vowels. Wow. So not many vowels to come. I was thinking of razoo, but I think I better hang on to the vowels. Now, here's a hot spot at H1 down. Just thinking if my Z plays there, but no, I think we'll pull the trigger on Zune. Or should I play Azon? There's 2 O's to come and no A's. So I think I will get rid of the O's. For 50. Now, this isn't too bad. Hydra, I believe, is good. Now, what are the back hooks for chair? Would it take a D? Adry would be good. Opponent's play of give doesn't give me much to work with, but adry looks alright for 48. Now, I've got the CH synergy again. That's always a good thing. And I've got some scoring tiles as well. Remaining tiles, just 6 in the bag. Opponent scores well with the X, 44. And give takes an O, so I was thinking of looch, but I don't think looch is a thing. Bloch, is block good? I don't think you can spell block like that, can you? No, didn't look right. Collab, no. H1 down. Opponent, can he go out? Silurid through an I. He can actually. So I think I'll take the I out. Maybe bar. Bar for 27. That's cool. And yeah, hopefully I can go out with loco is also good. Loco doesn't quite work next to bar. Just fails at the final one. And I've got cools at 4A. Herds, okay. Cool. Emit, just looking if there are any better spots. No, I think it's cools to go out. Yeah. Or I could play O-Bowl if it scores more for 21, and then opponent has 6 points to go out. I don't know, it's probably best to just go out. I don't know, not much in it. So cools to go out, and opponent, thank him for the game. So 498 to 339. I did have a good run of tiles that game. Let's analyze it and start from the beginning. Opponent had Kima for 32, but he goes with Ake, and then Bipat. Yeah, similar score, not much in it, so that seems fine. Manager for a 4-timer opponent had there, and he goes with Man. Now duplicate city, so Goof was, yeah, it looks okay, but look at Figo. I did consider that. I just didn't like the idea of playing straight into the trip lane. That 32 points, although attractive at first glance, could easily have come back to bite me, or easily been cancelled out, especially with a hot spot at C13 down. A Z or a J or a Q could easily be played there. So not a huge fan of Figo, still happy with Goof. And then opponent's a bit Val dry here, goes with Ped. Duplicates continue to plague my rack, and I went with Time, or Emit. Yeah, first I placed Time, and then I didn't like the idea of putting the floaters way out in the open. Now Regnant almost for opponent, but not quite. Goes with Tin, and then I've got a few options here. Twinter. Twitten looks good. They're all 80-point players, so I think there's not much in that. Regina for 73, but opponent could have scored 76, but more volatile. So he plays it there at M2 down. Now, look at that. I had a feeling there was something. It looked like a good rack with the right floater, but these words, Vacherin and Revanche, that sounds like the French word for revenge. Revanche. Probably means something else. Neither of which I'm familiar with, so I don't mind having missed those. Chair was okay. Now opponent's rack is looking pretty decent. It's got scoring potential, not quite bingo territory, but not far off. Goes with Today for 40. Toady for 41. And then Unrivets was the only bingo, so glad to have spotted that. Now opponent's got the W for score, but yeah, not quite a bingo rack. Close. Plays Owl, and then Souk was best for an equity of 57. Now opponent's close. Relic through the Q. That's a fancy play. Getting value from the N, G, R, and O. So that would have been quite nice. Opponent goes with AUE and Rayfies. I played it for 75. I could have played it for... so it was slightly more, but then extremely volatile. And there's a few hooks there for WEE. So I'm pretty satisfied with my placement. For the extra 4 points, I don't think it's worth that level of volatility. Durell for 63. Nice play by opponent. And then that gives me a big play. Well, Razoo, like I said, I didn't want to use up all the vowels, So, yeah, I just played off 2 vowels instead of 3. Now opponents, well, the UV dreaded combo and then the 2 I's, a little bit unfortunate to have that kind of problem with the blank at this stage of the game. Opponent goes with give, and then, wow, halyards, 107. Wouldn't have spotted that. And then opponents... so I went with Adry, but I just want to see... Yeah, it was the next best play after halyards. Now, close, but no playable bingo. Axis, yeah, for 46. And then Cohab, I did mention, or was it collab? I don't know what I was thinking of. I think collab is 2 L's anyway. But Cohab and Deeb, nice, 37 points. Look at that. That's a big score. I went with bar because I did recognize that opponent had Silurid through the eye. I think Silurid is good. And then herds for 18 and cools for 10 to go out. Lock for 24. That was quite nice. So, yeah, I don't know. That was the end of the game, so pretty good game. I hope you enjoyed watching that, and I will see you next time.